It is in the style of God to do amazing and wonderful things for us. He is a God that does surprises. When it seems as if all hope is lost, that is when He steps in. When it is not unique and special, it is not God. His signature on anything is strange, wonderful, and full of surprise. His ways are not our ways, and that is why we cannot predict or guess what He wants to do. It is part of Him being God and superior over us, and what He would do would leave you amazed at His wonders. Wonder is a feeling of amazement and admiration caused by something beautiful, remarkable, or unfamiliar. It could also be a surprising event or situation. Research has shown that the human brain loves surprises. We love to be surprised with gifts, favors, timely help, and the likes. Right now, it should come to our knowledge that our God is a God of wonders. He does things that would leave us in awe and admiration, and He does not stop there. He does this to us when we least expect it, thereby leaving us surprised and astonished. This He does so we can experience that gift of favor better and appreciate Him. It was His making that road was formed in a sea, highway through the Jordan, and passage via Jericho wall. He is a God of wonder and surprises. Throughout the Bible, God is seen to perform various wondrous works right from the moment He delivered the Israelites from Egypt to the miracles He did through His apostles. His works are wonderful and as well surprising. The book of Psalms is full of adoration of God's wonderful works to His children. Psalm 77, verse 14, confirms that Thou art the God of wonders. Thou hast declared Thy strength among the people. In the New Testament, precisely 2 Corinthians 12, verse 12, reveals that the sign of an apostle includes signs and wonders. These works were performed by them through the empowering of the Spirit of God. They are notable signs of God's wonder that surprised His people in the Bible. As already stated, the Bible is filled with evidence of God's wonders and how it surprised His people. The following is a list of just a few of the wondrous things He has done in Bible time. Delivering of the Israelites. This story happens to cover one of the most profound wonders of God to His people. The Israelites were in Egypt and were being used as laborers in building. They experienced pain and suffering. During this period, God never forgot them as He made them prosper. However, Pharaoh gave an order that every male child born to an Israelite should be killed. It was at this point that God decided to surprise His people by performing wonders through His prophet Moses. God sent Moses to Pharaoh to let the Israelites leave Egypt, but he declined. We must put in mind that this happened for God to reveal His power to Pharaoh and prove that He's the one and only God and has supremacy over the idols that the Egyptians worshipped. He performed His wonder by causing plagues in the land of Egypt. The plagues included water being turned into blood, frogs, lice, gnats, diseased livestock, boils, hail, locusts, darkness for 3 days, and the killing of all firstborn sons of the Egyptians. These plagues are described in chapters 7 through 11 of the book of Exodus. The surprise here was that while all these happened, the settlement of the Israelites, Goshen, did not experience any of these calamities. Here, God showed His power by performing wonders and surprising His people. The Nebuchadnezzar experience. Nebuchadnezzar was one of the most famous kings in the Bible history. He had a very large empire, which comprises countries he conquered through brutal wars. He even conquered the Israelites and carried most of them captive. He was successful and rich. He had so much gold, silver, and precious stones in his store. Having all of these, he was proud and arrogant. He then had a dream, and the interpretation of the dream came through Daniel. He was driven to the fields like a beast and ate grass like an oxen, and was beaten by the dew of the heaven. This was because he did not acknowledge God in his success. So this was to prove to him that God reigns over the affairs of the earth. After this, he went on to acknowledge God as a wonderful God. Daniel 4, verse 2 through 3. This verse shows that what Nebuchadnezzar went through was a wonderful work of God to show his power over him. The story of the 3 Israelites. The book of Daniel is filled with instances of God's wonders for his people. 3 Israelites, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were faced with a dilemma when Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made a golden image and commanded every official in his empire to bow to it. These 3 Israelites have a commandment from God that says that they should not bow down to any image in worship. This infuriated the king, who had them thrown in a hot fiery furnace. Here, God showed his power by protecting them while in the furnace, as they could be seen comfortably moving in the furnace without any sign of being hot. The king had them removed from the furnace, and was astonished to see that not even a hair on their body was burnt. Neither did they smell like they just walked out of fire. The king, being astonished and amazed at this, proceeded to make a decree that no one should talk ill of the God of the 3 Israelites, and went on to promote them. This story of God's wonder can be found in the 3rd chapter of the book of Daniel. The New Testament is also filled with a lot of wonderful things God performed through his Son Jesus, and the miracles he performed through his apostles. God can show his wonder in our contemporary life. Having seen the wonders of God in the Bible, we should know God is still doing wonders in this age, as he never changes. Here are some ways God will perform wonders that would surprise you in this present time. By providing for you. You might be in dire need of resources or funds to do something, and have lost hope in getting it. God will then surprise you by providing these resources from a channel you least expected. It must not necessarily be the funds falling from the sky, but rather he will use a person to give you that which you desire. In most cases, this person could be a stranger or a friend you have not been in contact with, or even a person you know closely but did not expect any assistance from. You will be astonished and surprised when God will show you and perform his miracle in your life. By protecting you. You could be involved in a domestic accident or a ghastly accident on the road, but God would deliver you unhurt. He would also protect you when you are in a hostage situation by making your captors dumbfounded, as you would escape without their knowledge, leaving them surprised and astonished, and you would go around testifying of God's wonders in your life. He would also protect you from that scandal at your place of work by wonderfully vindicating you to the shame of those planning for your downfall. By meeting your heart's desire. You could be in need of a marriage partner, or you are in need of a child. God would work a wonder in your life by positioning you effectively to meet that right person for you. And once you meet that person, you would be convinced of God's wonder in your life. Also, when you are looking for the fruit of the womb and you feel all hope has been lost, either due to your age, infertility, or any other condition, God will defy the science behind the situation and give you that baby, leaving you astonished and surprised. By answering you, you might have been asking and praying, seeking direction over a major decision in your life. God will show his wonder by answering your prayer. You do not need to literally hear a loud voice to confirm. He could just answer your prayers by sending a person to tell you this, or by showing you an amazing sign. In conclusion, a popular saying goes that God is never late. You might think God is late for not working that wonder earlier, at the time you think you needed it. But the thing is that God works in His own perfect way and in His own time. His way is different from ours, and He is working to make everything perfect in His own time. So do not worry, but expect a surprise from God through His wonder in your life.